All right, Fit 55, welcome back for your strength work. We've got 8s over here, 2 different movements, 8 each side. The first movement is a staggered stance deadlift. So for your normal deadlift, feet would be about hip width apart to shoulder width apart, and they'd be right next to each other. This one we're gonna go from a staggered stance, so one foot's gonna be a little bit forward, one foot's gonna be a little bit back, and the weight's gonna be in front of the body just a touch. So I've got my heavier weight over here. You see my feet are together. I'm gonna take my left foot forward a little bit, my right leg back a little bit. So just a little bit of like a walking type gait. And then from here, I'm gonna bend over at the knee and the hip and pick my weight up to full standing. I'm bending both knees enough to get me to the floor, and I've got the weight held in both hands over here. We're gonna do 8 on one side, and then after those 8, I'll leave the weight down there. I'll switch the stagger. Now my right leg is forward, left leg is back. Same thing, bend the knee and the hip enough to get to the floor. And your focus here, the goal is to have this joint, the hip joint, be the main thing. So I'm not only squatting down to grab the weight. I want to bend over at the hip, squeeze up, squeeze down. So that's 8 each side with each leg forward. So you're doing 16 total deadlifts per set. And then I'm going to move to a lighter weight, hopefully, something a little bit lighter. I've got my smaller jug over here, so this is a little bit lighter for me today. And we're going to do a plank row, or a plank renegade row. And I'll show a modification to make this easier, but I challenge you to go with this tougher version if you would like to try it today. So I've got a chair out in front, which for me is about knee height. This is going to be a little challenging if the position, or if the thing was higher. So if I did this from like a table instead of a chair, which would be a little bit higher, then that would be a way to modify to make it easier. So at least hip to belly button height, maybe knee height or even lower. My plank position is here if I'm on the chair. So I've got knee, hip, shoulder in a nice straight line. I'm going to take my feet a little bit wider so I'm stable, and now I'm going to be planking on one arm. So this is the start position. I'm going to do 8 rows, pulling the weight towards my hip, pulling the elbow up and back on one side, and then I'm going to switch the opposite arm and do 8 on the other side. So again, this plank position, this single arm plank, is tough. The lower the thing goes that you're planking off of, the harder it is. So definitely play around with coming up to a higher thing, table or something like that if you need. And you can also modify, if you like, to just a bent over row where I'm not in that plank position. But if you can, try to work the stability bit in that plank. So again, maybe just 4 sets on this one today, since it is 8 each side, 16 total per set. But if you've got the time and you're feeling good, then go all the way up to 5 sets. And we'll see you guys in a little bit for the conditioning.